Doing the selection, 50% stuff I know and love like the back of my hand and so excited to show it to an audience. And 50% things that I didn't know so well that I wanted to research and sort of connect and fill some gaps. My focus was not to deal with Africa as a continent and the history of cinema on this continent, but more to deal with the history of Black peoples and cultures around the world after they have been forced to leave Africa, and what those cultures and peoples look like on film throughout all these different parts of the world. I have much less control here because it's a huge festival, a huge program, and I can't make the assumption that somebody that comes to a 9 o'clock screening would come to all the screenings or maybe even one other screening. So people are going to experience this selection, this retrospective in many different ways. I'm trying to put together a collage, and people will hopefully take these pieces and put together their own collage of what Black cinema is, was, and could be. And I wanted to include different religions, different cultures, different ethnicities, different genders, different nationalities that all have something to say about Black culture, that have all shared and experienced and celebrated or investigated or critiqued. Everybody that's sort of coming together to paint this picture of what Black peoples look like across the 20th century. And I didn't want to create a ghetto just for Black directors. I want and believe my intervention as a curator is that these important and brilliant Black directors need to be considered and compared and celebrated alongside the maestros of international cinema who have not often been considered as Black. We are celebrating directors, but I also want to deal with actors, and I also want to deal with cinematographers, and I also want to deal with producers and writers. I also want to deal with musicians. So I don't want to limit at least here in Locarno during this retrospective, I don't want to limit our thoughts of what Black cinema is by just saying it's a Black director and that's the end of the story. No, that's just sort of the beginning of the story.